Hi, my name is Bente, I'm the Norse Witch, and I have a special guest with me because we're in Reykjavik right now, chilling in our Airbnb after the Iceland trip, and we thought we would film a little bit of a Q&A for you. So I am asking your questions for Olivia, and also Olivia got questions from her community for me. So if you're interested in that part of the interview, then hop over to Olivia's channel to check that out. Without further ado, I would say let's hop into the questions. First of all, as always, Patreon and YouTube members. So, this one is an interesting question. How can we fix relationships with spirits that may be upset with us?
I suppose it depends on how bad you done fucked up. You're not gonna be able to monetize this at all. You can believe it. Sorry. Yeah, I think it depends on how bad it was, because like if you miss an offering or something, and it's like a small thing, like if it's like, oh, like it's a small thing, like you didn't make a pact, I think that's different.
Oh yeah.
I think it depends on where that's at. Honestly, some spirits you won't be able to get that back with. The way that I would do it is you start from kind of the beginning again, but you almost have to repair it. So it's like if 0 was your beginning start, you're at like a -5 or a -10. And you shouldn't be asking that spirit for anything else at all. Offerings and just building that relationship back up again. But you also have to accept if that spirit doesn't want to continue that relationship, because sometimes it's a one and done thing with certain spirits. So you have to be really careful about upsetting or breaking promises that you made to spirits, especially with some spirits. So just basically rebuilding it kind of with offerings and time and whatnot, and not asking them for anything until that's repaired.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Especially if you are a Norse pagan and you've made a vow, don't break that. Just don't.
Yeah, there's a lot. Most of the spirits that I work with, you just don't break those. Yeah. Or you just don't make them because you know that you can't hold them.
Exactly. Better not make any promises if you are not really sure that you can make those.
Yeah.
All right. How often do you refresh wards, cleanse, etc.? I guess you might say spiritual hygiene of the self and home.
For myself, every day. Or refresh it? I don't know. Refresh it? Yeah, I would say every day, because it's like a quick cleanse and a quick kind of put up wards or protections. For my home, monthly. If I wanted to do more, it'd be maybe bi-monthly, but it's usually on the new moon.
Yeah, and then maybe during winter or something where spirits can get a little bit more.
Yeah.
I was about to say frisky.
I mean, that's you could use that word, I suppose.
It's my new favorite word.
Frisky.
Frisky. Yeah, where they get a little bit more interesting, let's just say that.
Yeah, a little more riled up.
Yeah, then maybe a little bit more often, but I would also say monthly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe around the liminal space, the liminal times of the year, I'll be a little more maybe bi-monthly or even weekly, depending on how much action is happening in the spirit world, but for the most part, just monthly. Yeah.
I would say I'm less of a visualizing a ward or something person, but I will just have some kind of talisman or something.
Yeah, I always have something on me, or I have that spray that I like to use. It's just it's a good cleanse and protection, just all in one. So.
Yeah. So I got a question that is specifically about the Iceland trip. So what was your favorite part of the trip? Or do you have any regrets or lingering wishes?
Yeah, my favorite part of the trip, I don't know. I think maybe
just the 6 hours that I was alone.
That was a pretty good part of the trip. No, I think there were I had a lot of favorite parts, but for different reasons. I really loved, ironically enough, I actually really loved sitting on the bus with everybody, even though like, I just really liked that because I feel like that was the time that we all got to actually sit down and really get to know each other. Whereas the stops were fun, but like I didn't get to interact with everybody deeply as compared to the bus. And then the meditation was actually really great, despite the fact that you made me cry. But other than that, I'm a little salty about that. But other than that, I think that was a really good time because like you don't get to connect with, especially strangers like that, fairly often.
Yeah.
And then honestly, the 6 hours that I was alone was actually pretty pristine. That was fantastic. So like sitting alone in the hot tub, just like it was really windy, but it was so nice. So I did really enjoy that, and I had like a 2-hour nap. It was great.
In general, the hot tub.
Yeah, the hot tub.
I also just in generally liked sitting. Like we had one fancy hotel that we stayed at for 2 nights, and that one had a hot tub, and we were just sitting in the hot tub in the evenings all together and just chatting about our practices and things like that. That is for me where I connected most with others, because like on the bus, I'm a person who is like, I will get so like absent-minded on like train rides and buses and cars and stuff, and also it's where I recharge. So I was a lot of the times in the bus, especially the last day, I was just like headphones on and just like, oh, I'm so tired.
Well, also like when I had to sit up front because I was getting so car sick, like talking to everybody kind of like distracted me a little bit too.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so I was just like staring out and I was like, like listening to everybody. I'm like, so what do you do for a living? You know, like it's like, oh fuck. But yeah, it was cool to listen to everybody's practices. And then the other part of that was
the other part was any regrets or lingering wishes. So anything maybe that wasn't fulfilled by the trip.
I mean, not really from the people at all. It was more of like the fact that I didn't get to stay at each spot that we visited. The way that I travel, I'm very much like, I like to mosey, I like to linger. So I think that piece was, I wish that was more of part of what we were doing.
Yeah.
And just more downtime, honestly. But then, let's see, any regrets? I wish I was able to, again, this comes out like with time, and like I wish I was able to connect more with the spirits that I got to meet. Like it was more of just kind of like, hi, nice to meet you. And like very, like it felt like small talk and then you leave, you know, like I didn't get to like really sit down and commune with them.
Yeah.
So I suppose that would be a regret.
Yeah, same, honestly. I think if I would plan another trip, I would make sure that there's a lot of time in spaces. I mean, maybe not the most touristy areas, because there you can't really connect as that well either way, but in spaces where, I mean, we were, for example, looking at 2 churches. Yeah. I would have loved to have more time there.
Yes, yeah. And I mean, I could go on a whole thing, but yes, that would be my regret.
Yeah. Although I must say, I love that our trip guide was like stuffing the itinerary full with like things that weren't originally planned, just like things that she knew we would love, like the churches, for example. They weren't planned. So I loved that. So I think she just wanted to make sure that we're seeing as much as we can at that time.
Yeah, so like it was a good thing that she was doing that, but I just wish that it was able to be slower. Yeah. So yeah.
If you feel off, like you have some energy or a being of the not mundane variety that feels like it's following you or clinging to you, what is your go-to way of removing it from you? And
get the fuck away from me. Usually it's that. Go away, and then if that doesn't work,
fuck off.
Yeah, like literally it's just like go the fuck away. If that doesn't work, I'll do like a cleansing on me. If that doesn't work, I'll do more of like a banishing cleansing bath. And that, and then like that'll really get it. And along with like maybe a tea or like some kind of elixir that's a little bit banishing, like a tincture or something. And then if that doesn't work, it's like more of a ritual, and I'll ask help with some spirits or something that I work with, because maybe it's something that I can't do on my side and they have to help on their side. That's usually what I do.
That makes a lot of sense. I like that.
Yeah.
Also just the
steps.
Yeah, the steps.
The first, I mean, usually it's just like go the fuck away, and they're like, you know, usually they'll go away, but
like a stranger who's like following you.
Yeah, it's like hello. Yeah, like
leave me alone.
Yeah.
Is there? I think this question is very interesting for me. Is there some element of the Norse tradition that you find fascinating or interesting?
Oh, so much of it. You know, I like that. The Norse tradition, comparatively to, I mean, it's more folk based, right? Like there's so much connected to the earth in it, but it's like the earth and the gods are of one. Whereas I feel a lot of other, not like all practices, but like a lot of other common practices that you meet people with, it's either one or the other.
Yeah.
You know, where like, I feel like the gods are the elements and not just control the elements. I feel like that's kind of interesting. And also runes. I love runes, and I cannot work with them. Like,
oh no.
It does not connect with me whatsoever. But like, yeah, the runic is just so gorgeous to me. It just doesn't, I've always tried to connect to like my you know, my Irish Scottish side of like, oh, maybe that's like and I just can't. I can't do it. It just doesn't work for me in that way at all. But like, I think it's super cool.
Sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes you find something extremely interesting and then it's just like, nah.
Yeah, and that's, you know, it doesn't feel like home to me. It feels very foreign like when I try it. So it's kind of like, oh, I can appreciate it, but I just can't do it.
Did it work better for you with the Galdrastavir?
The what?
The Galdrastavir that Albert told us about?
Actually, yeah, it did. Yeah, so like it's interesting because that was a lot more comfortable with me than like runes for some reason.
We have another Aylan question.
Aylan!
What animals would you merge to create the ultimate cute fantasy creature?
Cute?
You just being like, I can't do cute.
I know. I was like, what are cute animals?
Puffins.
Yeah, just
a baby puffin.
I think. Okay, what animals would I merge? All I'm thinking is like something that's like, it's gonna turn out like what is it? Full Metal Alchemist. And I'd be like, oh, so cute. It'd be like, please kill me. There's let's see. I think the Venezuelan poodle moth. Have you seen that before?
No, but that sounds so cute.
It's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen. The poodle moth mixed with, I'm trying not to go with all bugs. I think bugs are adorable. They're so cute. Can I mix it with like the acorn weevil?
Yes, please. Please.
And let's see.
It's a cute bug.
It's just a cute bug. Yeah, I need something with like, oh, well, no, that's a spider.
Please don't give it 8 legs.
Well, I wanted something with like the boots with the fur, like fluffy, like, you know, like, and I'm just thinking of like orb weavers because they have like really fuzzy. Or what about jumping spider? Like a jumping spider paws. So it's just gonna be a really cute bug. I can't think of a lot of mammals.
That's very cute.
Yeah.
I will try to Photoshop that together.
That's good luck. I would love to see if somebody could tag me in that. Somebody makes that.
Please.
That'd be so funny. Okay.
Okay, I think we had the same person doing the same question.
Okay.
But I want to know it because, like, I'm a Leo. So, what do you admire the most in Benta?
Easy.
Oh god.
I know. I didn't write anything in yours yet, so you didn't get to.
I'm getting it firsthand.
I know you are. I really I think that you try really hard to make sure that everybody feels seen and accepted, like wherever you are. And I mean, like to a fault, but like I do think that that's really sweet of you to make that kind of like a priority, especially within that group that we, you know, that we met. Like everybody was a stranger, even you and I. Yeah. So it's like I don't think that you left out anybody. Like I think you took the time to like speak to everybody individually.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope everyone feels spoken to.
I tried to, but I'm very bad at that. And so like I admire that a lot about you, and also I think that your energy in general is just like very grounding and like comforting. I
love that.
Yeah, you don't have like I think that like obviously if somebody pushed you too hard, like you definitely push back, but like which again I think is a good thing. But I like that generally like it is very comforting, and like you have a lot of like earth energy around you, I feel like, and I really appreciate that.
I mean, my fiance says I'm a forest. I'm a comfort forest, so that makes a lot of sense.
That's such a good way to put it. Yeah, that's such a good way to put it. Yeah.
Okay, this is interesting. What is the type of magic or magical thing you are worst at?
So much. There's a lot. I'm really bad at a lot of things and a lot of magic systems. Ceremonial specifically. Anything ceremonial I'm very bad at. Let's see. Yeah, I think ceremonial is probably the worst, the top. And then anything that obviously doesn't really like connect with me. So like things like chakras or like, you know, like crystals. Like I love a good pretty crystal, but I like working with one, I can just be kind of like absorb this energy, or I can be like, you know, I have this because it represents this, but like
I
I
just
don't
feel the energy or something. But
right,
that's
but like
it.
I don't, yeah, like it's like that's neat, but like I don't know how to work with it really.
She's like, oh, pretty
yeah. So that's kind of probably where it is. Or servitors. I'm getting better at them, but I'm not very good at them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've actually never tried to create one.
They're interesting, yeah. So Ivy has been very helpful in kind of helping me with that. But I'm about a lot of things though when it comes to practicing.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay, who is your most talkative dead person / spirit / plant? And could you tell us about them?
That's such a good question.
Right? I read that question and I was like, oh, that's so good.
Talkative. Oh my god, I don't know. There's a lot. Actually, most of my spirits are pretty laid back. I think the most talkative spirits that I get are usually from graveyards that don't get visited very often, and that I like to visit. And so, just because, you know, it's kind of like old people when they're like, oh, finally a visitor, and you're just like, bro, shut up, like, or you know, like, or they'll just go on, and you're like, can you chill? So like, I think those would probably be the most talkative. Yeah, for my plants, my house plants just never shut the fuck up. They're always, I feel like they're always like, give me love. Yeah, they're just chatty.
For houseplants, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, they're just.
I mean, they're constantly around people, and they literally rely on you. So of course they would like scream at you.
Yeah. I think those are my most chatty for sure.
Okay, when a spell doesn't work, how can you figure out what part of the spell caused it to fail?
I think that's why I have to journal everything because and make sure that I write down how I did things and what I used, because there might be something in there that I'll be like, oh, like the thing that I wrote down or the thing that I said I wasn't specific about, or like maybe I was too specific about, and like obviously that would hit a wall or something, you know. So that's usually how I can figure it out and then like tweak it to make it better.
That makes sense. Also, maybe just like try in different variations.
Yeah, different variations or like different executions, or maybe try to go at it in a different way. You know, like, so if you're like trying to like look for a specific job, instead maybe like give me a job, like you're like, oh, I need to maybe network better in this community, so then you do more communication skills and less like job attraction. So it's like it would be the same thing, but you're just kind of like taking a loop around.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Giving the magic like a different way to manifest.
Yeah, a different route.
Okay, this one is also one I'm very interested about. Good beginner books for bone throwing.
Are
there even?
Right off the top of my head, I can't remember what they're called, like what the authors and everything. I did do a video on Bone Throwing 101, and I know that I added some books in there. There is a book, but I haven't read it, but I've heard very good things about it. So like, I can't tell you from my experience if it's good, but I would assume it is because a lot of other people who I know and trust really like this book, and it's The Bones Fall in a Spiral by Mortellus something.
Yeah, just Mortellus, I think.
It's just Mortellus? Yeah, okay. So, they wrote this book, and apparently it's very good, and I have yet to read it. But
same.
Yeah, I want to one day.
One day. Okay, Sarah asks.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Did you enjoy Mamma Mia?
Enjoy, I don't think is the word that I would use. I enjoyed spending time with Benta and eating snacks. But I am also a terrible person to watch movies with because I will pick them apart. So like, I'm kind of cynical. So I enjoyed the time with my friend.
That's a good way. That's a good way to look at it. And your friend enjoyed it.
Does it make me a bad queer if I don't like Mamma Mia?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Thank God.
There are a lot of iconic movies to like.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Like
The Mummy.
I've never watched The Mummy. What makes The Mummy a queer movie?
We'll watch it and you'll understand. It's like one of the like bisexual awakening movies.
Ooh.
Or what's the other one? The other one's like Queen of the Dead.
Also, I've never watched that.
My brain is not braining. Mine was Mulan.
Oh fuck yeah.
Do I want to be with them or be both of them? I can't tell. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, Okay, you asked me what my favorite plant ally is. So I will ask you what your favorite animal ally is.
Animal?
And it can't be a bug.
Okay, fine. I was gonna say a spider, but also the crocodile.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Yeah, the crocodile.
Oh, that's really cool. For some reason, I wouldn't have assumed that you would say a crocodile.
For a long time, it was a bear. For a very long time, it was the bears.
Of course, it's predators.
Bears eat berries as well. Okay.
True.
And also the stag. I think the stag is, obviously, with my antlers, the stag is very, very important to me. And working in Colorado, but I think ancestor-wise, the crocodile. So
yeah,
a little bit of both, local and ancestors.
I love that. Okay, I will look for one more.
Okay.
What's one question you will never get tired of answering and why? Alternatively, your least favorite one. Such an interesting question.
That's a difficult question. Well, because I love answering questions, but I think, because it's like I love like answering, okay, it's a type of question, not a specific question.
Oh.
So it's like, I love answering questions when people, I can tell that it's like they're inquisitive and they're absorbing something or like whatever, but like I don't like when they're asking me questions as if they're using me as Google. I think that's like, you know, so it's a type of question of kind of like, hey, what can I use this plant for? And it's like, that's, you know, like,
what do you think?
Yeah, and I don't mind like, you know, kind of talking of like, well, what do you use this plant for? I use it for this.
Yeah.
That's different. Whereas like, if I was just like, Bento, what do I use hawthorn for? And it's like, there are so many different ways that you can figure that out for yourself. So it's just,
here comes the information plane.
right.
The spoon.
Yeah, I'm not spoon feeding. So I think it just depends on the type of question. Yeah.
That's a good way to answer that. And I guess a very diplomatic way of answering that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I like it when people ask me questions, but again, like if you're just asking me like questions that, you know, you're using me as like an encyclopedia, that's different. I don't like that.
Yeah, especially because I'm not even a fan of like correspondence books.
Yeah, neither
so like
am
I am not a person who will throw correspondences at you. That's not something I like.
Yeah.
Well,
what are you gonna do?
Alrighty. With that being said, thank you everyone for all of your questions. Again, if you want to see this whole thing reversed and in another very beautiful location, then check out Olivia's channel. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and give it a thumbs up and ring the bell down below so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Feel free to check out my other socials and of course Olivia's socials. They will all be linked down below. And with that being said, I will see you in another video. Bye!